All right, I am a little early, so we'll wait a little bit and get some people. Yep. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Caroline, good night. I always love it when you say that. I imagine you sitting in your cozy cottage in Scotland creating art. Makes my heart happy. I'm gonna get started here in a minute. I'm just thought I'd hang out over this way for a minute. Hi, Eileen. Welcome. Glad you're here. Definitely missed you when you were doing all those garage sales, yard sales. I guess in Florida we had more garage sales than we did yard sales. I think yard sales are more common in the north, all the way across. Happy Sunday. Whew. So, today, I thought we would, oh, Caroline's saying something. You just did 2 line drawings of our local village hub in the old church. It's the old church. Oh, gonna watercolor them. That's nice. Let me see if I can get a little bit better set up here. I'll turn this all around in a minute. Oops. I did have it set up the way I thought I wanted it, but you know, I can always change things. But yeah, I thought I would share with you what, let's see. Okay. I counted the cards, the cat cards. I have 32 finished cat cards. I mean, if I didn't do anything else to these, they would be, quote, finished. And then I have 10 unfinished cat cards. So some of these don't have cats on them at all. Some of them have cats but no art on the back. They're not really technically finished. So I have 10 unfinished cat cards. And then that would leave 10 blank math cards, flashcards, whatever. So I have 20 cards to go. It sounds like a lot, but it feels closer because 10 of them are half done. So I have like 10 full cards left and 10 partial cards left. I'm gonna work on the partial cards today, I think. So let me get the camera turned around and we'll get started. But I wanted to take a second and say hey with my face and let people get online a little bit more. I hope you all have been having a good week. What you been doing this week? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling creative wise. I'm in a good space with my head. Yeah, I've been creating a lot this past week and it's been really, really fun. Hi, Emily. So happy you're here. I appreciate you too. Yeah, I'm feeling really good mentally and hoping it can keep on going, feel steady Eddie. And yeah, I've been coming in the art bus. I'm kind of feeling the routine, getting back into a groove here. So yeah, I thought we would work on some cat card decks, cat card cards that aren't finished. Cat card cards. Let me see if I can add more words into one sentence. So it's a little warm here today, but it's not as warm as it has been. So I have the air on, but it's not really working well. I gotta see about getting a new electrical outlet for this bus to plug into so that the air works better. Let's see. Yes, art is the best. It really is. I was like feeling the climbing out of the funk. Like I started, one of the main things I did to get out of the funk was I stopped reaching for my phone first thing in the morning, like when I wake up. And then I put a little notebook beside my bed and I made an effort to reach for that. Hey, Mel. Yes. Yes. It seems like a no-brainer to do the thing that makes you feel better. But when you're stuck or you're hypersensitive and you have like a lot of up in there from whatever, it can be debilitating. So, yeah, I had a mentor reach out on Substack that I hadn't been on for a couple months, and that was encouraging. I started reaching for my notebook and filling out my morning pages. That's like a practice of brain dumping. Like I'm just brain dumping in the morning before I reach for the phone, brain dumping out of my head. And that's because I'm not keeping it in there to stew and get all clustery. So morning pages type thing is a good exercise for me right now. And it's really helped me. And I'm spending more time in the art bus. My husband's working remotely now. It's hard for me to hang out in the home bus, which is a good thing because I need to be in here and I want to be in here and it motivates me to be in here more. So, yeah. So, yeah, I hope you guys drop in what you're creating on. I'm going to pick from these unfinished cards, these 10 unfinished cards. I'm going to start working on them. No particular order. I just have 10 to get through. I don't know that I'll get through 10 on the time that we're here today. Maybe we'll go over if everything goes well. I quit a little early last week, and it was hard because I love this time that we have together. So let me get the camera turned around and we'll start working on these guys. Try to go slow so I don't make anyone dizzy. Well, thank you. Yeah, I love it too. We had been home for the longest time together, and then he got the job away just a half hour into town. But yeah, it feels better when we're in the same place, in the same property, even though we're doing different things. So I appreciate that. I'm gonna tilt you up or tilt you down, and we're gonna check out the art desk. See if I can get this sorted out so it looks the way that I had it earlier when I tried things. This over here, this little mess is my pile to pull from so the collage folder. Hey, Teacher Sally. Okay, drawing a fox. That's great. Foxes are awesome. My orange tabby reminds me of a fox. Okay. Everybody see okay? Whew. I did have some cat sketches hooked up in case I want to use any of these on the unfinished cards. I think I did this one last week. Wasn't real happy with him, so he might get a do-over. And then, yeah, I did this one looking away. This one kind of turned out funky because it's a weird position, but Butch is on a rock and he's leaning forward. But I thought it would be a cute, like really close up, leaning into you type look. Nicola, hey, nice to see you too. Wow, on TV. Whoa, don't look too close. Oh, I love that, Emily. Smooshing around the paint. So, yeah, let's see what cards I'm gonna work on here. Need a back on that one. This one kind of needs some kind of nature. This is one of the first ones I did, but didn't really do much on the back. Yeah, so I think I'll work on some backs. I drew some little nature earlier. There was these really cool mushrooms out in along the trail here. They look like this when they're new. Let me see if I can get closer. They look like a regular little umbrella mushroom when they're new, and then as they grow, they invert, and then they have these gills. I tried to upload to the drive, but the drive wasn't, I didn't have the icon showing, so I couldn't select it from my phone, and I think Apple was saying, you can't use Apple to talk to Google. So I didn't do that yet, but I have some pictures I wanted to put on the drive. If you don't know what I'm talking about, sometimes the folder's always the same, but sometimes I upload some of my nature photos to the folder and I share the link in my community tab so y'all can have not nature photos if you want to use them as references or inspiration to draw something. So I drew a little, there's like a leopard moth. I don't know if that's what it's called. This guy, I've seen about 4 or 5 of them on the property here, and none of them are alive. But they all look really, you know, they look together still. And a funky little beetle bug that had this interesting shape. And then some green little plant life. But I'm going to use these, and then I'm also probably going to make some more because the back of the cards need some nature. I think this is a brush pen. Yeah. So we're going to use the good old Uniball Vision Liner. The creek last week was raging from the rain and kind of trying to flood the property here, but it didn't succeed. And now the creek is just gorgeous and beautiful and clear. A lot of stuff has been washed away. I even have floated in the creek this past week on one of the hotter days. But it's weird to see something so beautiful and so that gives me such peace turn angry. You know, it's kind of like enlightening. You know, it helps me remember what can happen. I feel like I want to show you these photos, so I'm going to do that real quick. If I can find them. Oh, I don't think they've synced over here. Let's see. No, they haven't synced over here. They're on my phone and I'm using my phone to do the video, so sorry about that. Hell world, it is. Hi, Allie. Right now, it's a hell world. It feels crazy right now. I'm gonna dig into some dig into some art. I think you had it right. I'm not mad. I mean, I'm mad that it's a hell world, but I'm not mad at you at all. You called it. Do you guys know what these mushrooms are called? I haven't had a chance to look it up. I didn't remember to do that. But they start like this, and then they invert as they grow. They invert, and then they have these really cool like gills that are like thick and wavy, and they're like shiny mushrooms. They're like ghosty looking. They're kind of like a gray. They're kind of like a gray, shimmery. I'll put a post in later. I'll do a little gallery or something of the mushrooms that I've taken pictures of lately. I think with all the rain, they are just loving the life of the moist forest. Have you guys tried any new art this week? Like something you haven't done before? I'd love to hear about it. I have been collecting tins for a future of trying out encaustic. The wax painting, I fell in love with that in Asheville when I lived there. For a year, I would go down the art district, and they had some really cool encaustic, and I never heard of it before then. And then Caroline has been playing with encaustic, and that just got my juices flowing again for that. So I'm starting to hoard supplies as I can come up with them. I'm hoping to get to Goodwill. I think that's the only thrift store we. But there is an encaustic artist I met in Asheville. She was a friend of another friend, and her name is Bridget Benton, and she has a website that has a lot of art on. Let's see, to catch up. Mel is swatching Intense pencils. Nice. Caroline's making dinner. Yay, go for the encaustic. Yeah, I'm excited. What you making for dinner tonight, Caroline? Yeah, all of these need nature on the back. See if we can help them out. Last week I lost my green Neo Color 2, and I found it all by its lonesome in the home bus. So that was a big relief, as that's kind of an important part of this project. I was not wanting to have to buy one crayon, you know? Oh my goodness. Mushy peas and fried fish. That was my go-to when I went to Scotland. Because I'm vegetarian and I ate, it never felt like too much. You know, it felt just right. But I had mushy peas, chips, which are the French fries, and then the fried fish, deep battered or something. I don't know exactly what they did, but it was good. Never got sick of it. I didn't use the right neo color on that one. I used blue. I kind of like that actually. Put some blue on here. Uh-oh. This one we'll work on later because it doesn't even have any tissue paper back there. Oh, I thought I got everything ready, but I am missing my bronze paint pen. I have 3 of those suckers. Come on. There it is. Okay. Oh, you guys been busy over here. I tried to draw on my iPad with Fresco. I'm not good at digital drawing. Well, I've tried Fresco a long time ago. I used Procreate. I don't know if that would be easier, but also you could practice. Like if you like to draw on paper, then you could take a picture of it with your iPad and then put it in Procreate and, you know, use your stylus like to trace, you know, your drawing and kind of get a feel for how it works. But the digital drawing can be really complex to kind of, you know, get the exact, the way that I haven't been able to duplicate hand-drawn, authentic hand-drawn lines with the stylus. Allie's trying a new technique that you just saw on Art is Magic. Amanda Gray showed putting jelly plate over a face and loosely painting the face shape and features on the surface and transferring it onto paper, and then going to town with pastel paint, collage, whatever floats your boat. That sounds fun. Let's see. I have never been to Scotland. Did I go for an art retreat? I wish. Caroline went on an art retreat there recently. No, I have a childhood friend that we've been friends since the 5th grade. And she had been going to Scotland every year. And both of us have ancestry there. And in 2024, she messaged me and said, "Do you want to go this year? My treat." And I said, "Oh, I don't know." I actually did say, "I don't know," because we had just had the flood over in Asheville with Helene, and there was a lot of stuff going on, and I felt like, you know, I couldn't think about 2 months away, like being in a space where I could go to Scotland in 2 months from that particular point in time. But yeah, of course I went, and she and I had a great time, and we mostly hung out. I think we spent 2 days in Edinburgh, but the rest of the time we hung out in the Highlands and went all around the magical fairyland of the Highlands. But I really want to go back, and I'd love for my husband to go with me. Maybe one day. I'm not gonna rule it out. I think it's possible. I just don't know when. But I wanted to come back to be with my family and my fur babies, but I wanted them to be in Scotland with me. I didn't want to come back to this country. But I am working on being grateful where I am. I am in a beautiful place here in the Smoky Mountains, and these hills were actually part of the Highlands at one point in time, and you can feel it, which is nice. Yeah, it was pretty magical. I look back on it with a lot of fondness. She's into treasure hunting, so we were gallivanting all over the place with a metal detector and just graveyard hopping and all kinds of stuff. Stuff we would never do here. This doesn't want to draw. There it goes. Draw more circles in that guy. Yes, we found, what did we find? I mean, what I consider treasure might not be considered treasure by everyone. It wasn't it wasn't money. We found what looked like it may have been either one of those sheaths, like a leather sheath that was like that long, and it was no bigger than my pinky. And back in the day, one would strap a knife at the bottom of their, like on their leg, and a little knife would go in it. So it's possible that that was part of a sheath, or it could have been part of a glove. But it kind of, when we researched it, it looked like it might be a sheath. But I'm going to be cataloging it and getting back to her. I don't know that they've gotten to it yet. They said they have so much, but they were really happy to receive it. And then we also found an old piece of metal that kind of looked like, see if I can draw over here. It's I want to say maybe a stirrup. It was like this. So maybe not that noticeable, maybe more like this. But it was kind of like that. And so we thought maybe that was like an old stirrup or something. It was fun. Found lots of broken pottery and glass and stuff on the shores. And I brought home a bunch of nature. I don't think that's legal, so I'm not going to say it really loud. I don't know if it's legal or not. But Mindy laughed at me because I just had like bags of shells in nature. I mean, when I say bags, it was basically one bag, but it was very small things. Take this off. Usually I use scrap paper, but I started doing this in the sketchbook, so that's what we're doing. I'm thinking about having another Google Meet in August. Maybe we'll do a second Saturday in August. I'll have a Google Meet. We can hang out, do art, talk. Something like that. Make that a little bit more on the art. That worked. Hey, Andrea. Might be a weird angle there. Let's see. Try that. Okay. Yeah, better late than night. I'm just Andrea, I'm just kind of working on some cards that aren't finished. I counted my cards. I have 32 cards that are finished, quote unquote, and 10 that are half done, like this, where they don't have anything on the back. Some of them don't have anything on the front. And then 10 that are just the flashcards still. So we're so close. All right, we'll be here, Mel. No problem. I think I like the moth for this card for some reason. We're getting there. I don't feel like, I mean, I feel like I've achieved, you know, getting most of the deck done, but I am looking forward to it being done and then able to use it. But for the first time in a while, my brain doesn't feel like a cluster, like a white noise of an old TV that was left on and lost signal or something. Ooh, that's a great analogy. I had a really good week, and a friend from Asheville came over and we did art together. She worked on her thing and I worked on my thing, and I even wrote a song, you guys, and I'm not a songwriter. But my friend is in her and her boyfriend are in a band. And those of you that have read my post, posted on Substack, they have their own band, and they do music here in the Art Bus. I think I shared it in a short or something. They did some music in here together. But those guys are writing music to my lyrics, and they're going to play it at a festival next weekend. Oh! So when I have that, I'll share it with y'all. It's a really surreal feeling, even if, you know, it just felt very good to get out things, get things out. There you are, Glue. It's hot in here. Whew. Thank you. You have a little energy and so much other stuff to do, but you're really hoping to have a chance to actually do regular art soon. I hope so too, Andrea. Are you still bedridden? I want to hear the song too, Emily. Maybe at the end of the video I'll read the lyrics to y'all, if you're interested in that. I know what you meant. I know you didn't mean therapist. All right, we got nature on the back of those guys. Let's do some on the back of this one. Kind of like the, I don't know what kind of beetle it is, but I'm just going to say like a jewel type beetle. Let me see if I can get my smaller scissors. Yeah, these are better. Also, those of you that have watched my latest video, I appreciate all the feedback on the angle. I didn't mean to do that with the entire video, but it was so short that I just kind of got lost in what I was saying and doing and didn't remember to change the angle. And also, to clarify, my intention was not to badmouth the importance of tutorials in helping us learn how to do things. I mean more along the lines of, like, for me, I get imposter syndrome in a lot of the cases because, and I think a lot of you got it, but like my brain just goes to, I can't do that. I can't make the thing that they made, and so also, in addition to that, I have in the past watched tutorials more than I have created. I watch tutorial after tutorial after tutorial, and then not actually doing the work, or doing the art, because I'm consuming. And most of the times when I have things to say, I'm talking to myself. Like, I don't need another tutorial, I just need to do the work. I just need to get at the art table and make shit. So, I'm definitely going to be watching people help me understand how to do encaustic, because I know that it's melting wax and brushing wax on and stuff, but I don't really know the technique. So I need to learn that, I'm jealous of people that just can take away the info and not feel inadequate to do the thing. That's it. That's awesome. I hope to get there one day. Let's see. Yes. Well, I hope that you can get to doing some art, Andrea. I am also that person. I buy like the Domestica courses. They were like so cheap at the time I bought them. I probably have 10 or 12 Domestica courses, and I wouldn't finish them, or I would just like think I need a different one because that one wasn't the way that I thought it was or something. But there is something like, for me, there's something to be said for just like, if I know how to draw and I know how to glue papers on another paper and tear and rip and make marks, then I don't need a tutorial. I need to go do it, and then my style or my creativity comes out, rather than like emulating another person's. I think I like that there. I might do the flowers on that one too. Not flowers, they're green. They're green like little plants. Oh my God, sing my song. I get that. I do have a ukulele. I thought about bringing it in, bringing it in Arpus here. I have a singing bowl in here. But yeah, I thought about doing that because my brain's doing something for me to have, like, I woke up, opened my notebook, and the lyrics just came out like in 15 minutes or less. And I sent them to her, and she was like blown away, and she said that, you know, the writing of the actual lyrics is often a struggle for her, so she was really excited to get to work on the music. But I immediately had another song, but I've kind of realized it's probably a poem, and it's about my dad's hands. But I used to do creative writing when I was younger, and I kind of got away from it through life, you know, having kids and being married and trying to keep up with all that stuff. At the time, it was hard for me to write as well. So I feel like a dusty old box has been opened up again inside my brain. And just really limiting my consumption of social media, my consumption of alcohol, and being in nature and being with, you know, creative, kind souls, being inspired by y'all. Like, all those things are working together to create a little safe, happy environment in my head. Oh, why am I doing that? I need to use the small ones. Art and adequacy go hand in hand. Yeah. I wonder how some of the greats felt, like, you know. We know Vincent struggled. I don't know. I used to really love Claude Monet's stuff, and I don't know how. I don't really read about him or his life. And then Michelangelo and Rembrandt, and all those guys. You know, I don't hear of a lot. You don't hear of a lot of in the mainstream. You don't hear a lot of female artists, painters, sculptors. We need to lift them up more, don't we? Frida. What a difference these little scissors make as opposed to the big scissors. I think you have turned a corner figuring out how to heal. I think so too. Andrea says, on some holidays I've written poems, short stories, etc. Not now, but I've made a cheap book to put words and art in, so we'll see how it goes. That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, I feel like notebooks are becoming an extension of my hand, you know, where I feel like it used to be the phone. Before that it was kids, and before that it was notebooks. So I'm kind of making full circle again. I think a lot of us are just so sick of digital technology world, you know. I feel like I want some color or black under this guy, but no, just fill it around his legs. Let's see. That's awesome, Emily. Well, don't think I haven't thought about singing that song. I just don't know where to start, you know. I was in the, I was in, I don't even think I want to talk about that, but I was in the church for a while, 25 years, and the musicians were like the ones, you know, everyone wanted to be a musician, and all the musicians were treated special, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I but in the shower or in the car when no one's around, I'd let it out. But I did tell my husband the other day, I think my voice is like the tuning or melody or whatever it is that doesn't sound like off key. Like I sounded on key when I tried to sing recently, and I was like, huh, that's interesting. Maybe I can sing without it sounding horrible. I think there's so many ways art can come out of you, you know? Music is definitely one of them. If you haven't had a chance to watch that TED Talk from the lady who wrote We Need Your Art, Amy McKee, I think her name is, she did a little 15-minute TED Talk in England, and that was really inspiring. That was a helpful thing too for me to do. Yeah, same, Caroline. I love music, but I haven't been able to sing in public or anything. How was the book, Andrea? I don't have the book. I followed her on Instagram for a few years, but I haven't read the book. Yeah, I will try that, Emily. I don't really want the iPad in the thing, but there it is. He needs some fur on him. And he needs to be painted, I think. my friend Marissa, that I gave the song to, she has like this really old soul. You know, she's like I don't know, 32 or 31, and she's like an old soul, and she sings like old songs that are folky, that her voice just blows me away. But she also has, you know, can do other things, and I think her boyfriend likes to do like rock and stuff more, and so they kind of have a combination of folky songs and rocky songs. Welcome, Nicole Roy from Ontario. Hugs back. I am just working on some unfinished cat cards. I have 20 left to finish the deck, and 10 of those are partially finished, so I'm working on those today. I don't want that big. Let's see. Where's my other brush? I had a minute ago. Oh, it's all the way into the iPad. Yeah, these mushrooms are so cool. They really are surprising me how interesting they were. I don't know if I could find them. I think they're probably gone now, but the picture I took was just like, wow. They're so interesting looking. I didn't need to break that. Here's what I'm looking for. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the flat part of the crown, but it's not there. So I wanted to do fur, but it's thinner. You guys, I freaked out today. I was cleaning the catio. I hosed it all down. So for those that don't know, I live in a larger school bus, and I had built a catio on the back for the cats in February or something. And I cleaned the catio off. Like, I opened the back gate, put all the stuff out, and then I hosed it down with like a power hose. And there's two gates. There's the light gate and a heavy gate. And I didn't close the light gate all the way. And I went back inside, and I was cleaning out the cat watering fountain thing, with the, like, doing a deep cleaning on that with the hose and everything, like the hoses that do the water and all that stuff had to be cleaned. And I went and sat down on the couch for a second and got back up, and I had left the back door open for the cats to go on the catio, and Butch was kind of like poking his head out cautiously. And that's not unusual, but it was a little unusual, so I was like, hey buddy. So I looked out and I saw that the gate was open, and my heart sunk to the middle of the earth as fast as it could go, because I knew winter was gone. So I went through the bus really quick to see if he was in the bus, and he wasn't. And I ran outside and I couldn't find him. And when we go on walks with the leash, we always go down to the creek, and he loves to sit along the shore there. You guys have seen a million pictures of that, I'm sure, but that's where he was. He was just hanging out like, no big deal. I'm right here by the creek. And when I found him, I like looked at him, and he looked up at me like, hi, what's going on? But Winter is totally deaf, you know, and he can't hear me calling him. And so it was all of 5 minutes probably that this happened, and what what a big, huge roller coaster ride that was. I was so grateful to find him just sitting there, hanging out by the creek, pretty much like that, pretty much just like this picture. But it was so scary. Mel says, I just love what I ate. It's so peaceful. I'm always in a huge hurry. Too many ranch tours. I usually do maybe 10 minutes at a time. That's all I can squeeze in. You keep going, girl. You're creating every day, and that's mostly every day, from what I can see, and that's something. But yeah, you have a bigger, busier life than I do with all those animals. This needs more of a line here. It was really scary. It was. And my husband wasn't here. He had gone to the grocery store for us. Tissue in here? Towel, tissue. Sorry about that. That was a little darker on winter than I wanted it to be. Yeah, I was really happy to see. I know if he like if we had the bus door open and he just walked out, he wouldn't run or anything. He would just walk over to the creek, you know. But it's just I didn't know how long, you know, how much time had passed between when he got out and when I figured it out. I think I'm going to put pink on Butch's nose while I have the pink. Oh. It was definitely scary, but I'm glad he loves the creek so much. What are y'all doing this week? You got any creative plans? I want to work on lino cut again and possibly some more cat cards, feeling the renewed motivation to get the deck done. Thank you, Andrea. Nope. Thank you, Nicole. You put a watercolor cart in your yard a couple of times a week? That sounds fun. What is that like? Like there's farm stands. So you're saying like a cart with art in it? And people come by and buy it? Or is that what I'm hearing? Watercolor cart. That sounds really cool. Let that guy dry. Winter needs whiskers, I think. So I think this card is close to done. So we can add that to the done pile. Where is the done pile? Oh, he's over here. change that to 33. Let's see. Yes, it looks similar to a farm stand. 3 levels, and you sell your tiny watercolors. Some framed, some not, and you have bookmarks. Wow, that's so cool. Yeah, I'd love to see it. You can also take a picture and post it in our little community tab if you want. But I will definitely, if I haven't already, I'll subscribe to you. I don't know that I could do that here. Everyone drives by here like at 100 miles an hour. Not really, but they drive by pretty fast. Also, I don't really have a supply of, I don't have a inventory. Hello, MK. Welcome. I'm just working on some unfinished cat cards. I'll let Butch dry. Winter's drying. I kind of want to do maybe a little bit of, let's see. This color. I was thinking maybe a light wash behind these mushrooms over here. I even have a basket that has a bunch of studies, doodles and odds and ends for $3. People love the messy, tiny studies. That's awesome. Oh, thank you. They've been a fun project. They kind of hung over for a while, like they were on a holding pattern. And then I got back into them, and I really would love to finish the deck. I think I've finished, so 33, 34, 35. So I'll have 35 finished after this live stream. That's pretty cool. So that's only, 17 left. I'll let him dry. We'll let him dry. Yeah. Hi, Beverly. Thank you. Let's see. Well, I've been going a little over today. I didn't even mind. Hopefully you guys didn't mind. I think this week I'm gonna I'm gonna go do a vertical live Monday and Wednesday. So I know I said that before, but I am. I really am. And then Friday we have the videos. Sunday we have a live stream. The second week in August, let's see, second weekend. So Saturday, August 8th, we're gonna do a Google Meet. So I'll post it in the community tab. I'll try to get it together enough to post it a week before with a link. And so we'll have a hangout time. We can talk, do art, say what's going on. And that'll be Saturday, August 8th. And we'll do that at 12 noon Eastern. Yeah. And, I have the details on the art retreat that I'm going to put a small little art retreat together with the help of a friend here on this property. November 6th, I think, that weekend. Let me look at the calendar again. If you want information on that, email me. Yeah, November 5th, which is a Thursday, through the 8th, which is a Sunday. On Friday's video, there is a link to an inquiry form. I'll try to put it underneath this video when I'm done talking, and you can let me know if you're interested in getting information about the art retreat. It'll be here on this property. Everything will be included. This is a peaceful little place. You've seen in my videos. There's lots of plein air that you could do. I have some ideas for some fun collaborative workshops, and yeah, I thought it'd be fun. I think there's only going to be room for 6, maybe 7 or 8 total. We have some facilities on the property that you can rent, and we also have some facilities that you can tent camp or bring your own rig. But yeah, if you want information on that, more of that information, then use the form, and I'll put it below this video. So the replay will have the link to the form. Thank you all that are members. That means so much to me. I do have a $5, $4.99, I think, month of membership for kind of behind the scenes type videos. And what else? The community tab is a fun place. We all hang out, share art, get inspired, and that is on this channel. There's a community tab. If you go to the main channel page, you'll see the word community, and you can join the community there. I thought it was if you are a subscriber. I think that's still the case, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm getting mixed ideas from researching about communities. But I'm so thankful for mine, and I'm thankful for all of you, and I hope you have a beautiful week coming up. Remember to be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and yeah, enjoy the beauty that is around you. If you look for it, it'll be there. I love y'all. Take care. Bye. Maybe. I gotta get this open again. Yeah. Bye, y'all.